everybody. In this video, we will try to understand Ashwini Nakshatra. So, Ashwini Nakshatra varies from 0 degrees of Aries to 13 degree 20 minutes of Aries. Ashwini is the beginning of everything in the Nakshatra system, especially the Ketu's energies begin with this particular Nakshatra. And if you observe, this particular nakshatra is represented by two bright stars in the sign of Aries. In the sign of Aries, Ashwini is the first nakshatra. Of course, in the whole zodiac, Ashwini is the first nakshatra. So the ancient rishis saw this particular nakshatra as a kind of horse's head. So, if you observe these two stars, see every nakshatra consisting of some stars. A nakshatra is a group of stars. Here, Ashwini is also a group of two significant stars. So, a star's status is based upon its visual magnitude and brightness. So, visual magnitude and brightness are inversely related with each other. So, if visual magnitude is higher, the brightness is lower, and if visual magnitude is lower, then the brightness is more, higher. So, here Ashwini has two stars. One star has visual magnitude of 2.02. Another star of Ashwini Nakshatra has a visual magnitude of 2.66. So if you observe, the brightest one is of visual magnitude 2.02. And Ashwini, basically this nakshatra is related to femininity and horse. It's a kind of horse head and remaining body is of a female, you can say. And Ashwini Nakshatra symbolism is horse's head. So a horse's head basically conveys the idea of a beginning, right? And generally you can understand a rider when sits on a horse, the rider pat the horse's neck before beginning any journey, right? It's a beginning. It's beginning. Basically, Ashwini Nakshatra indicates beginning. So from time immemorial, if you observe, a horse has been seen as a symbol of power, courage, movement and vitality. So Ashwini Nakshatra is related to movement also, kind of transportation also. A horse's head signifies an eagerness to act and a swiftness of approach. So there is a kind of activeness present in this nakshatra. So horse is always ready to make journeys. So whenever you see a horse, you look at it as a kind of traveling medium, right? Even in movies, if you observe a horse in one of the scenes, you can understand somebody would travel on horse. So the moment you see a horse, you relate it with some eagerness, some swiftness, some action, some movement, some traveling, right? And always horse, it doesn't travel for its own sake. It helps others, right? It generally travels for the sake of others. So if you generally observe a horse very closely, you can realize that a horse's head conveys a certain amount of sensitivity and alertness also. As a horse is always alert. So since Ashwini Nakshatra lies in the beginning of the sign Aries, and of course Aries is the beginning of the whole zodiac, right? So Ashwini is basically related to head of some kind, the beginning of some kind. So the head, of course, relates to the brain, the controlling organ of the body functions. So generally, Ashwini Nakshatra energy people, they are they generally act as heads of some institutions. Such kind of energy is also present in Ashwini. So you may need to check the whole horoscope to comment more, but Ashwini Nakshatra energy has this particular functionality, head of some kind. So Ashwini automatically relates to some kind of mental impulses and leadership, because head or brain is always related to mental impulses. So what kind of energy is present in Ashwini is very much important. If any planet is present in Ashwini Nakshatra for a particular person, then you may need to understand something about the brain of the person, or something about the leadership qualities of the person, or the kind of transportation, sensitivity, power, courage, movement, and vitality of the person. So this nakshatra carries all of these qualities, right? And it's always whatever symbolism you give to Ashwini Nakshatra, you give something related to horse, something related to power, movement. So it's mainly related to some kind of movement and transportation. And even if you want to understand the horoscope, something related to spirituality, then also you can see the spirituality also involves some kind of movement, right? Movement from one particular level of understanding or one particular level of maturity to another level of maturity, you can say, right? Or the kind of personality traveling from one plane to another plane. And if you observe the deity of Ashwini Nakshatra, it's Ashwini Kumaras. So Ashwini Kumaras are celestial horsemen, and their names are of course Dashra and Nasatya. And the meaning is bringing help and truthfulness. Dashra means bringing help, and Nasatya means truthfulness. And you can find lot many stories about Ashwini Kumaras, and they are mainly regarded as heroic figures. Travel between different worlds and try to solve the problems of different people they encounter in their travel. So while they're traveling, if they encounter some person and that person has some problems, Ashwini Kumaras try to resolve the problems of that particular person. Thanks for watching this video. We will try to continue this particular Ashwini Nakshatra related things in our next video also.